You know who else is firing back on Mike?
Oh, I'm actually pretty excited about this next
baby.
article.
I am too.
It's by Ubisoft. Okay, well, technically it's from The Verge, and it's our boy Tom Warren. I almost said Tom Ryan. Confusing
Jim
Tim
Ryan.
Ryan with all these Ryans, dude. All right, so Ubisoft. Okay, so Ubisoft sees major reduction in Rainbow Six Siege cheaters thanks to Zim detection. Remember, we covered this like 2 months ago, 2 or 3
Yeah.
months ago.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what it is for people, like the quick way to say it is there is something called a Cronus Zen and a Zim, which is basically an external device that you use to spoof your inputs, whether it's a mouse and keyboard, a controller, or whatever, to give you aim assist, wall hacks. I don't even know what else. Like anything you could just know that's like it's used to cheat. And for the longest time, it's been nearly impossible to figure out who was cheating, who was spoofing, all this other stuff. And basically, Mousetrap came out. What well, I mean, I think the article is going to actually show it.
Yeah.
A couple of
Probably.
earlier this year, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and Ubisoft and who Activision Blizzard were both like, "Yeah, we know who's cheating now,"
Yeah.
and
But yeah,
they
companies
started
are
doing the pranks. Like,
I know, yeah.
oh, Activision Blizzard started doing pranks. So if you were using this cheat, you would like disarm yourself and like throw a
Yeah,
grenade at
they
your
would
feet and
take
you
your gun
die.
away.
Oh yeah, they take your gun away. It was so good. All right, so let's get into this. So, the Mousetrap system has led to more than 70% of spoofers giving up using third party cheat devices. So, Ubisoft's Mousetrap system for detecting cheaters in Rainbow Six Siege is already seeing results. Cheaters use devices like Zim to spoof controller inputs, and Mousetrap has now caused a major reduction of more than 70% in the amount of mouse and keyboard users on console. That's not really the console ones that I'm worried about. It's the PC players that I'm really
Yeah.
worried about. Okay, so the team behind Mousetrap has provided an update on the progress of detection system nearly 3 months after it was first added to Rainbow Six Siege earlier this year. There's been 78% reduction in the total spoofers detected in Rainbow Six Siege. And if we look at ranked on its own, the reduction is similar, 73% fewer spoofers than before. Dude, keep in mind, we just covered how the Cycle Frontier and Rogue Company lost a ton of players due to cheaters.
Yeah.
So this is the fix, dude. This is what most cheaters have been using. Um, so Ubisoft has predicted a reduction of between 30 to 50%, 30 and 50%. So, in quotes, the data we've gathered has surpassed these expectations and has shown a major reduction in the amount of mouse and keyboard users on consoles. This means that a majority of cheaters have simply turned off devices like Zim, Cronus Zen, and Ray Snow S1, which are often used in online competitive shooters to allow mouse and keyboard users to get benefits of aim assist from a controller mixed with the benefits of movement from mouse and keyboard. Ubisoft has been messing with cheaters that use these third party devices by applying extra latency to disrupt their aim and movement. This degraded experience has clearly forced many to simply stop using the devices as a result. It hasn't been all easy going for the Mousetrap team, though. And Ubisoft admits that there was an exploit that it patched in late June that allowed people to avoid the Mousetrap penalties. It's a constant cat and mouse game against the developers of third party cheating hardware, so it's reasonable to assume that there will be other workarounds and exploits coming in the future. And in quotes from the Mousetrap team, we will continue to monitor, update, and tune the system and penalties for future seasons so that the console players can be confident that their opponents do not have an unfair advantage. You know, one thing that they're not mentioning, because it's not just mouse and keyboard players playing on console, because that in itself is a buggy fueled mess. To be honest, it's pretty delayed, especially on the Xbox. I don't know how bad it is on the PlayStation, but these devices, like I said, they have scripts in them. So what people do is they'll go to like the websites, they'll find the scripts, they'll find like basically a script is the program itself aiming for you, and you can set preferences for whatever game that you're playing. So they're not mentioning that there. It seems like they're only really concentrating on the mouse and keyboard going towards the console players and stuff. Mouse and keyboard players playing on console using this device. But I think it's doing a lot for like the PC side of things, you know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, so there's a nice little graph too in the article, where they show the Mousetrap release, which was actually early April was when they released it. Um, it sits at, I mean, there's a significant
Holy
drop
crap!
just
It's
in
a
the first
cliff.
just in the first 2 weeks. I mean, a significant drop after they release it, so it works. Um, and then yeah, there's again they were discussing there's a little bit they did have to release a patch in June because there was an exploit around it. They're gonna have to continue to fight against that, but I mean, I'm just impressed how quick of a drop it was because they released it. I mean, this thing worked, like you know,
Yeah,
um, and so 73% reduction of spoofers and ranked, which is awesome. Yeah, I think it's certainly a good step in the right direction. I think there's still more work to be done, but and I think to your point too, it's like it's cool that like mouse and keyboard usage is down on console, but it's also like, is there a way that they could detect its use on PC? And if so, like how can you reduce that? Because that's another area. It's a good point you
they
raise.
must be able to use it,
Yeah.
like to figure it out, because it's not just like mouse and keyboard players taking advantage of the aim assist. When the scripts are aiming for you, you can plug in your controller too, so you'll see a lot of that as well. And it's just
Yeah.
like so unfair because it puts you at such a huge advantage. Like a mouse and keyboard is already at a huge advantage when it comes to like mobility, not mobility, aiming. But then when you give it aim assist, it's like you're a demigod. Like you're never missing. And if you
Yeah.
do miss, you're real bad.
It really shows.
Like
Yeah.
imagine giving Shroud or any like CS:GO player, pro player, Valorant pro player, like aim assist on their mouse.
Yeah. It's kind of game over,
GG's,
right?
dude.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and they also mentioned in the article too, like Epic Games was issuing permabans starting last year for
Mhm.
current end users, and like Bungie updated their terms now. So if they can detect you're using a tool to like spoof, try and get advantage over other players, you're out of there. So yeah, I mean, Overwatch, like all these games and stuff are I think starting to combat it to a certain extent. Um,
Yeah. I think when it comes to cheating in games, especially games that have like money tournaments online, which is so stupid in my opinion. But if you
yeah,
do have money tournaments online and people are cheating and you find out, it's like I think that should be a hardware ban. Like ban
something, dude.
everything associated with the account. If it's something like Epic Games, which has multiple like main IPs, ban them from all the IPs.
I feel like that's like
Like it,
I feel like it's the only
it
way you really could like effectively do it. It's just to say like your account is just tanked, like you're done.
just nuked,
Like yeah,
just
just nuke
nuked.
the whole account. Um,
Yeah, I mean, in order to do like a hardware ban, you have to be pretty invasive. Like you have to like I don't even know, like figure out the net coding of what the motherboard and like the CPU and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know how that would work. I know they can do it on consoles fairly easily, but that's something entirely different because the console is like something that the publishers or the studios have actually made, manufacturers, I guess. Um, but
yeah,
something has to be done about cheating, and it's just good to see that there is some progress being made,
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Mousetrap is a step in the right direction. Like I was saying, I think like
Yeah.
combating hardware cheating is just as important as like software cheating. So, um, and the fact
Slow
that
and
it's
steady.
it's definitely harder to detect. So the fact that we're able to detect it now, oh baby, it's about to get crazy on these games.